Yeah, hello guys. I just said I was going to come quickly to talk about our country. We know the President Barrow is here, and the whole conversation centers around what we believe is the wastage. I call it diplomatic wastage. And this has resulted to people suggesting that the Gambia is doomed. And that is a statement that I reject and want to reject vehemently. And this is why. If Gambia was not doomed under 22 years of tyranny, we must never allow it to doom under the current or any other subsequent dispensation. When we fought against Jammeh, there was little or no help from the international community. We waited for no one. We held ourselves up, stood upright, and refused for Jammeh to destroy our country. This was a lonely fight, but eventually the whole world saw what we were fighting for and decided to come to our aid. Most Gambians who dismissed us from the beginning eventually saw the light and decided to join us. What has happened or is happening with Barrow, we have to put it in perspective. During the First Republic, Gambians had the freedom to choose a leader in subsequent elections that they liked. And we did that. Some of us did not agree with the choice, but it was a free process. Then what happened? Yahya Jammeh came and imposed himself on us. He did not give the Gambians the authority or, the choice to determine their manner of government. He rigged the system, destroyed our economy, killed our people. But we continued to fight. We fought and realized that there is only one choice that we had. And that was the choice of unity and getting rid of dictatorship so that we will have a new beginning. Adama Barrow became a beneficiary of that one agenda, that is changing dictatorship. By virtue of him being a member of the largest opposition party, a party that at the time was almost crippled because its leadership were incarcerated, Adama was chosen as a leader or the flag bearer of that party. Not because he was the most honest, not because he was the most competent, not because he was the best person, but he was the person available to be chosen. When we went to the convention, of course he won as a result of his membership to the UDP. But what we have seen so far from Barrow is a person who has betrayed the trust of the Gambian people and betrayed the trust of everybody who stood by him. 3 parties out of the UDP supported Adama Barrow. They were the GPDP, the PPP, and the GMC. They became the first casualties of Adama Barrow. As we speak, whether it is acknowledged or not, Adama Barrow is giving the UDP its hardest headache because he is not being very honest with the UDP as far as telling them the direction that he wants to go as a member who resigned from that party. So then it is evident that what we have in Adama Barrow is somebody who betrays the aspirations of his allies. Now, why are we not doomed? And when I said that if we did not allow the Gambia to doom during Jammeh, we must never allow it to doom under Adama Barrow or any subsequent leader, for that matter. The Gambia is bigger than Adama Barrow. The Gambia is bigger than any single political party or individual because it is the Gambia, the combination of all Gambians. He happens to be the president of the country because we can only have a leader at a time. And it is his turn to be the leader. And what is important is the legacy that he will leave behind. So if there is anything that is being doomed or that will be doomed or anybody, it will be Adama Barrow because he would have left a legacy that would not be worthy of praise or emulation. He is a guy who came to power and told the whole world that they inherited an economy that was pretty much empty. That's what he said. That the Gambia was virtually bankrupt from the mismanagement of Yahya Jammeh. He is a guy who saw the need to establish a commission of inquiries where every day Gambians are subjected to wastage that is unimaginable. This is a guy who went in front of the whole world and told them that we need help because our country is at the verge of collapse. Yes, he went to Brussels. When he was going to beg in Brussels, he decided that, you know what, just so that the optics will look good, I will ride with my delegation on a commercial flight to go to Brussels. When he did that, most Gambians praised him for that. Then he came back and told us, the whole world, that I want everybody to tighten their belts. Wastage would be a thing of the past. That even me, Adama Barrow, president, I will be donating, I think, 20% of my salary or 10% of my salary monthly towards the National Development Plan. What do we have today? Adama Barrow has decided that maybe he has donated enough, so I need that money back. So I'm chartering a flight that can only take between 14 to 15 people to the United States of America to attend a meeting and deliver a speech. A flight that would end up costing the Gambian taxpayers anywhere between $200,000 to $300,000. If you know anybody who would ever travel to Sierra Leone, there was a time I was on the phone with the minority leader in the National Assembly, Mr. Sambaba. And he was leaving Sierra Leone to come back to the Gambia. When he explained the journey to me, I felt so sad for Africa. Because to leave Sierra Leone and come to Gambia, he had to travel from Sierra Leone to Morocco and then take a flight from Morocco to the Gambia. But we've seen the president of Sierra Leone who decided that he was not going to waste taxpayers' money. He rode or flew on a commercial flight to go to the same United Nations that Adama Barrow is going to. What I want to tell the Gambian people is that we must not despair. Because we have the will, the capacity to get back our country and change it. How is that going to happen? I had mentioned that in the First Republic, we had the choice to choose a leader of our liking. In the Second Republic, we had somebody who had imposed himself on us, rigged the system, killed a lot of Gambians. And this is why we fought a long struggle, a protracted struggle, that led to one chance and one agenda, that was to get rid of Yahya Jammeh. Some people will say it was naive. I said it was not, because it was a necessity. Whether Barrow stays 3 years or 5 years, the Gambians would once again have the opportunity to put his legacy before the voters, whether he runs or not. And I believe that Barrow would be the easiest opponent that any Gambian would face, because Barrow has failed the Gambian people. in many ways. Don't tell me democracy and human rights. That was fought for and won by the Gambian people collectively. What is in the hands of Barrow is the economic revival of our country, and he has squandered that. What we've seen today is Barrow having the audacity to stand before Gambians telling us that spending $200 million to travel around the world, 200 million, whatever it was, dollars or whatever, oh, that's nothing. That's normal and usual. In a country where you're telling the whole world that your farmers could not have a very good harvest or will not have a good harvest, thus putting 1.7 million Gambians' lives at risk because of the possibility of lacking food. And guy kekan to Ninye and get yourself in a chartered flight to come to the United States to deliver a speech that you could have chosen to send to even the ambassador, either to the UN or to the United States, and said, good.